Never before had they seen teeth so enormous. They didn't belong to any creature currently known to humans. The world's top scientists were all incredulous, because the monster's owner would need a hydraulic jack just to pry open its massive jaws. By measurement, this monster's spine was actually 2 meters wide. Its size far exceeded that of the largest dinosaur on Earth. Moreover, its skin was exceptionally hard. Even using the most advanced lasers for cutting, no damage could be inflicted. The researchers had no choice but to keep increasing the power. After half an hour of continuous irradiation, cracks finally started to appear on the monster's epidermis. Just as everyone was feeling extraordinarily excited, the equipment next to them suddenly experienced intense interference. Dr. Serko hurriedly decided to call off the experiment, but it was too late. The monster's corpse suddenly burst open, and a yellow substance sprayed out. The assistant at the forefront was knocked unconscious by the impact. After emergency treatment at the hospital, the assistant's life was no longer in danger, but his originally handsome face was now wrapped in thick bandages. Dr. Kirko thought it was over, but suddenly noticed the assistant's heart rate was rapidly climbing. In no time, it had exceeded 140. The yellow liquid from the monster's body was even flowing from his face, accompanied by violent convulsions. The doctor hurried over to check, but the assistant's heart rate had already skyrocketed to 242, far beyond human limits. His heart was at risk of rupturing at any moment. Dr. Kirko believed he was beyond saving and regretfully left. But unexpectedly, that night, the assistant suddenly opened his eyes. After sitting up, he started tearing at the bandages on his face. The nurse heard the noise and rushed over. The assistant happened to turn his head, and the nurse was stunned by his appearance. The damaged face had returned to normal. It seemed this sea monster's secretions had powerful healing abilities. Dr. Serko grew excited. This discovery would benefit all of humanity. But a colleague noticed that the monster's cells were rapidly degenerating. If they couldn't find a living sea monster, benefiting humanity would just be an empty dream. On the other side, huge waves surged on the lake's surface, rapidly expanding to form a giant whirlpool. Realizing something was wrong, she hurriedly yelled for her friend to turn around. But her friend thought she was just scared and loudly cheered her on. In despair, all she could do was watch helplessly as the yacht headed towards the whirlpool, plunging into the abyss along with herself. The military soon received the news. By the time Dr. Kirko arrived, tens of thousands of tons of lake water had mysteriously disappeared, leaving only a steaming pit in the center. After a survey by a probe robot, it was discovered that this hole went straight to the Earth's core. Just as the robot was melting, it transmitted some images back. A monster was actually swimming in the magma.